is Mama2Crazy5, and I wanted to do a tutorial today on applying nail decals, water slide nail decals to powder dip nails. This is a question that I see all across a lot of forums and communities in Facebook that I'm a part of, and I give advice when asked, but I know that there are many questions, what you can use, what you can't use, what will mess it up, stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to go over 4 different ways that you can use nail decals on dip powder nails. Now, as you can see, I did speed up this video mainly for your guys' benefit, because if I didn't, it would have been an hour long. So it is still rather lengthy, but I'm covering a lot of ground, so that's okay. But I am prepping. I do prep my nail swatches. As you saw in the beginning, my nails are already done, so I will be doing this tutorial on nail swatches. So I just buff them real quick. I find that I get better coverage on the first dip if I do buff the nail swatches. I'm using Tomicca Step 2 and Step 3, which is base and activator. I have my Aimilee gel top coat, but I also have the finish gel for triple vitamin, because I'll be showing you guys how to apply them using gel top coat, as well as how to encapsulate with dip and use the dip powder system. So the first swatch I'll be doing, I'm using Illuminate by Revel, because it's widely known that you can put nail decals on any white nail and have it pop and look amazing. So that's the first swatch I'm going to be doing today, is Illuminate with those really pretty pink flower rose nail decals. So I'm using Step 2 from Tomicca. Just going to do 2 coats of each dip on each swatch before I do get into the application of the decal. Now, water slide decals, there's just a smorgasbord of selection out there. Personally, I love Decals by Melissa. You can find her on Facebook. I also love Poshy Nails. I have many decals from them. They're gorgeous. So, but most of the decals, like all of the ones that I'm using today, I did get from Amazon. They have a rather large pack, and it's got a large variety of selection of, different types and kinds and sizes, and full nail and partial nail, and so look into that and look them up, because there's a selection for everybody, I'm sure. So I am now clear capping with my double dipped clear. It is the clearest of the clear that I have been able to find. I love them. It's like glass. You can see right through it. There's no cloudiness. There's no pigments. There's no little specks of anything. It's awesome. I do use a coarse bristle brush, to dust off every time, because I want to make sure I get the thinnest application possible. And I'm going in with Tomicca activator right now. This activator is awesome. I'm actually getting low, so that's why I keep having to dip back in and shake it to try and get a good coat on there. So we waited 2 minutes, and it is nice and solid. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with the filing. I have a 100 grit file by McCart. I buy those on Amazon as well. So I'm just going to file down the edges, get the shape nice and refined, and then the application was a very good application, so I don't have to do very much filing. There aren't very many ridges or thick spots or bumps on the top, so I'll just be able to go in with my Tomicca buffer right there. I did get that with my Tomicca starter kit. I do love this buffer. I love it better than like Puller blocks. It's awesome. So I'm just giving it a good buff, get it nice and smooth, because water decals do tend to apply to, the best application is to a sleek, smooth surface. Give that a quick dust off. And then I actually do go in with my alcohol prep pads. I use these on my nails after filing, before any type of application, before any brushes touch my nail. That way I don't want to, risk contaminating with powders or what's left behind. So I use that. I did go ahead and wipe off that swatch stick to get off any dust or powder from filing. And I'm going to go in with my Aimilee gel top coat, and then I will put it in the lamp for 60 seconds. Now, one thing that I have heard is there has been talk of gel top coats turning white dip powder yellow whenever it's used on them. I know that my Model 1's top coat did turn my Tomicca yellow. But the strange thing is Tomicca's like a off-white, eggshell white type of color. I'm just showing you guys the water decals that I'm choosing to use. And then I'm taking some curved, I think they're eyebrow scissors, if I'm not mistaken, to go ahead and get a nice close cut on that, cutting as close to the decal as possible without cutting the decal. So I was saying that, you know, my Model 1s did turn my Tomicca yellow, but I used illuminate in almost every manicure that I do, and Model 1s has never turned illuminate yellow. And I don't know if it's because it's a glow powder, because it does glow in the dark, or what, but I just found that interesting. I thought I'd share that with you guys. So I've cured illuminate in the lamp for 60 seconds, and now I'm cutting out both of the decals that I'm going to use at the same time. As you saw a moment ago, I did pull this, it's like a cellophane cover that comes on the front of the water slide decals. You do want to remove that, because if you put it in water while that's on there, it'll just transfer to that, and there's no getting that off. So you do want to take off the cellophane first, and then you hold the decal in water with tweezers for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then watch. It just slides right off the paper backing. And here I'm going to show applying it to the nail directly from the paper backing. I don't know why I tried to do this left-handed. I am not left-handed, so it was not easy. I actually end up switching them around here in just a second. I don't know, I got it on there. And then you just kind of, I know I go out of frame randomly throughout this video, I'm so sorry, but you're not missing anything important, I promise. I'm just patting it down, making sure the edges are nice and flat, that there's no air bubbles, and in the same process, I'm helping remove any remaining water or moisture that may be on the decal. But it does lay really flat. It applies to the gel surface extremely easily. Now it cannot be moved once it's applied, so make sure that you place it exactly where you want it. So now I'm going to go in with the smaller decal that I'm going to add to the top of the nail, and we're going to put that in water as well. Hold that there for a good 10 to 15 seconds. It doesn't take very long. I kind of dab it off on my towels that I work on top of, just to kind of help remove any excess. And we apply that directly to the nail as well, straight from the paper backing. Yeah, this little bitty decal was giving me a hard time. And then we just pat that down all around, make sure it's nice and smooth. You don't want to rub it. If you rub it, then you risk rubbing the actual image, and it can break super easy. They're very fragile when they're in that state, so it can break or tear very easily. So there's that, and that's so pretty. That's just so pretty. And then super easy, just top coat it again. And top coat it with the Aimilee, cook it for another 60 seconds, and it's done. How easy is that? So easy. Throughout the video, I am closing everything that I use after I'm done using it. I'm just a stickler like that. So I think that's what most of the, you know, in between length is. Me basically closing up all my products. So the next one I'm going to do, so the first one was a white, of course. We know we can put decals on white and have it look amazing. Well, this is Glam by Revel. Glam is a pink shimmer. Pink shimmer of all shimmers. If you're familiar with Wonderland, you know Wonderland is a white shimmer. It's like Christmas in a jar. And the moment you dust off with that, your life is Wonderland. It's everywhere. This is like the she version of Wonderland. Literally, Glam gets everywhere. But she'd be gorgeous. I love Glam. It is one of my favorite colors. But I want to show you that you can also apply decals on top of shimmer colors. Light shimmer colors, neutral shimmer colors, even some bright, like neons. stuff like that. You can absolutely apply decals to and still have it come up noticeable. So I'm just going to do my 2 dips into Glam, and then I'm going to top coat with my double dip clear. Same process as I did with illuminate, but this time we are actually going to encapsulate the image with the dip, and we are going to use the dip powder system, activator, and top coat for those that don't do gel. If you're not gelling with gel, I understand. I didn't for the longest time either. So I'm just going to show you that you can still do water slide decals using the dip powder system. So there's our... Now that, I'm sorry, that was not double dip clear. Correction. That was a container that I use as a secondary container that I use, and within it actually has Mia's Secrets clear. That is my glitter clear, designated glitter clear jar, because I have a large supply of Mia's Secret. I do put it into a smaller jar, make it easier to use. So I activated it with my Tomicca activator, and the camera really does not pick up the gorgeousness that Glam is. That's a shame. So we wait 2 minutes for the activator to set and cure, and then we go in with our file to refine our shape and free edge and get all that good stuff down. Excuse me. So I do love applying water slide decals. I think it's super easy. I mean, you can definitely personalize your look. I'm a very customized person, I assume. I suppose I'm not your normal average run-of-the-mill, you know, fall in suit, follow a line. I'm not a sheep. I very much am a trendsetter, and I do my own thing, and I love to make anything and everything my own by tweaking it and giving it just this, you know, little dash of me. And so I love to do that within manis as well. You know, I can do a very simple mani, but I'm going to throw some pow in there, and you're going to know it was Liz. So these are the decals that I'm going to be using to put on top of Glam. I did choose that one. I thought that was a really cute decal, and it actually turned out much more beautiful than what I anticipated. So I'm going to go in with my curved scissors and cut as close to the decal as I can without cutting the decal. I did already remove the cellophane cover. I do like to remove that like as a whole, because if you try to remove it with every decal that you cut, it's just a pain in the ass. It really is, because then you have little pieces of cellophane everywhere and you lose them because they're clear. So I'm going to hold that in the water for 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, and then we're just going to slide that right off the paper backing, but this time I'm not going to apply it straight to the nail. I'm actually going to use my tweezers, which I don't know why I tried to do this with my left hand either, because I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed. But I think I figured it out. But I'm applying it right to the dip powder after having buffed. I activated, filed, and then buffed. There's no top coat or anything on this nail right now. I'm applying it directly to, but because it is so sleek and so sleek and shiny after the buff, it applied just fine. So that's on there. We want to make sure that all the moisture is gone, pressing down the edges, no bubbles, and then we're going to go ahead and clear cap this and encapsulate it in my double dipped clear. I grabbed my activator first, and I'm glad I noticed. Put that back and grab my step 2 from Tomicca. Go ahead and cap that free edge, and then we dip it right into the clear. Whenever I'm encapsulating, I do like to give it just a few more seconds to sit before I brush it off. Look how pretty that is. It was not ready yet, so I was not about to put that buffer up against that nail. Now, luckily, the double dipped clear lays very flat, and it's very much self-leveling. It's amazing that way, so I didn't really need to file too much. I just needed to buff it for it to have a smooth finish, and that was really all that one needed. It was super easy. So, I mean, as you can see, you can encapsulate with the dip system if you don't use gel to kind of protect the image. Regular top coat can still protect the image, but if you want your manicure to last and you're using dip for that purpose, then, you know, you do want to go ahead and encapsulate it. I dusted it off, go ahead and wipe it down with my alcohol swab and make sure that's dry. And then I'm going to go in with the activator because we're going to be doing the dip system with this one. I do have some pre-cut shop towels, the blue cloths that I'm using. So that's a clean, lint-free cloth. Let the activator sit for a good 10-15 seconds and then give it a good wipe down to remove all the excess to help limit the level of contamination with your top coat. So I'm going to go in with my triple vitamin top coat, do quick swipes, clean the brush off really well. Look how gorgeous that is. That's just beautiful. Super shiny with the first coat, but that's one reason why I love Triple Vitamin's top coat, is because it's pretty comparable to gel top coat, the finish anyway. It's shiny, it's, you know, protected, it's sealed, it's gorgeous, and it just has a beautiful finish. Clean off your brush really well again. Let me closing up my product. Oh, look at that. And that one turned out much prettier than what I anticipated. So we've done white with, you know, your average decals, and then we've done a shimmer, applying the decal on top of the shimmer, like in the middle at the bottom of the nail. So now we're going to do, from nail addiption, this is lovely, we're going to do a darker color, applying a decal to a darker color and at the top of the nail this time. So I'll go in with my Tomicca base coat. And I thought that Lovely was just a darker pink solid, but during this process I was able to determine that it is a shimmer. But that's okay, it still worked, it was darker. She pretty. This brush, it's like a stiff bristle brush, almost like a toothbrush, I guess. I did get that at my local beauty store before the whole COVID-19 hullabaloo, before they had to shut down. And I love that brush. And I love it because I can clean that brush with acetone and have it get really, really clean. Just the bristles, of course. I have an acetone pump, so I'll fill the top of the pump, dip it in, and then I rub it all over those blue shop towels that you see down there. And it works really well. There she be. And we're going to clear cap. I am all about customizing things and making things your own and showing your personality in almost everything that you do. For example, my car, I have a Ford Escape, and I love my car. And I have 5 kids, Mama 2, Crazy 5. And the back of my car has one of those hanging signs, you know, like a baby on board, you know, and the ones that are pretty basic and they're everywhere. But mine had to be something different. Mine had to be me, and so mine actually says, "Baby up in this bitch." That has me all over it. So I'm all for customizing things, and you know, people are individuals with individual personalities, and individual ideals and characteristics should show in everything that they do. And I'm always a strong enforcer, you know, an advocate for that with my kids. There's 5 completely different human beings with 5 completely different personalities. And I am always all for supporting them, displaying that in some way, shape, or form. So we're just going to go ahead and give Lovely a lovely little buff. Make sure she's nice and smooth for the application of her decal. Sorry again, I'm wandering out of frame. I move around a lot. I'm a fidgeter, and even though I'm doing something, I'm still moving all over the place. Alright, we'll give that a nice wipe down with the alcohol and make sure that's nice and dry before we go in with the application of that one. Now with this one, these are the decals that I chose, and I chose that one to use on her. Now with this one, I did this one this way because a lot of people don't like to cure their gel more than once, and which is understandable. Okay, so with this one, it's like a mixture of the 2 that I've already done. I am going to apply it directly to the nail, and then I'm just going to top coat it from there. So we hold this one in the water for 10 to 15 seconds. I know it seems like I'm moving like a mile a minute, but I had to, guys, I had to fast forward it. I had to speed it up because if I didn't, it's like I move like a sloth. Alright, so we're going to apply it directly to the nail straight from the paper backing, and then give it a nice tap just to make sure it's all nice and smooth. It's so pretty. Going with our Aimilee, and I do love Model 1's gel top coat as well. Aimilee, I just got it just the other day, and I've only used it a few times, but I do love this one as well. I noticed that this one kind of has a bit, just not super noticeable, but a bit slighter, thinner consistency than the Model 1's, and I do like that. I would just have the fear that it would flood easily, which it hasn't yet, don't get me wrong, but look at that. That's just pretty. And with one like that, you could also put a decal at the bottom of the nail as well. Okay, you guys, last one. So this one, I want to show you that you can apply a decal on top of chunky glitter. This is Spark. I love Spark. As you can see, I love Spark because my container is less than halfway full, and that is a 1-ounce container. Spark is a glow dip, and it's also a chunky glitter, and I love it. I love it so much. I put it on top of a Proud, which is a purple, and it actually turned the glitters like a teal color on top of it. It was just gorgeous. So with this one, they laid pretty flat, but I do go over and make sure to tap it down, tap all the large chunky glitters down just to make sure they stay flat, to make filing and buffing easier after clear cap, because we want to make sure we have a smooth finish for our water slide decal. Ah, look at those glitters. That's gorgeous. It helps to lay flat into chunky glitters just to help the glitters lay flatter. If you dip, I find that I get more stand-up glitters, and they're just harder. They're just a bigger pain in the ass. I mean, honestly. But with this one, the glitters that were hanging off of the side and off of the free edge and sticking up, I just grabbed tweezers and just kind of yanked them off. I will be just fine. You know, one glitter shy on my nail. It's still going to be gorgeous. Give that a good dust off, and then we're going to clear cap this one as well. Now, I put a very thick, not very, but like a semi-thick layer of base on whenever I am clear capping on top of glitter, just because I do want to make sure that I do have every glitter piece covered and protected for whenever I do filing and buffing. I don't want to scratch them or scrape them or risk turning them silver if they're not intended to be. So because I did a thicker layer of base, of course I'm going to make sure that I get all of the dip powder I can to soak up to put that layer on there of protection. See, even clear cap's pretty. Alright, we're going to give this a good little dust off. And then it's activating time. Because I did do such a thick layer, I do like to make sure I activate it really, really, really well. I don't want to have any issues whenever it comes to filing, you know, with durability or have chunks of everything flying everywhere. And I mean, I'm already covered in powder at the end of my manis anyway. But, oh, look how pretty. And that's not even with the top coat or decal. Give it 2 minutes to cure. Clink, clink, clink. Ready to file. So I go in with the file and I clean up the edges, make everything nice and crisp, and sidewalls, things like that. And then this time I'm going to go in with my electric file because it is chunky glitter and because I'm lazy and I don't want to spend that much time hand filing. And this one is just the mandrel tip. I believe it's the mandrel band, if I'm not mistaken. It's a sanding band, basically, and it came with my drill that I did get from Amazon as well. It is the Air C version, I believe. I love this drill. Now, the first one that I got malfunctioned on me within a week. But as soon as I let Amazon know that same day, they sent me out a replacement and gave me a month to return the defective one. And it was awesome. It was amazing. It was super easy to do, and this one has worked perfectly ever since, and it's been months. So I love my e-drill. Just a couple areas that were bumpy and divots and rivets and ridges, and which is bound to happen whenever you're using chunky glitter. It's just going to happen. But that's, again, the reason why you put the clear cap, because most of the ridges and bumps and stuff, it's clear. So you can buff that and level that out and still have your beautiful glitters just the way that you want them. Give it a good buff. We want to make sure it's nice and smooth for the application of that decal. Dust, dust, dust. Alcohol swab. There we go. Even at a distance, it's gorgeous. I love Spark. It's beautiful by itself, and it's beautiful as a topper. It's just an amazing dip. Alright, and this time I'm going to do the same thing I did with Illuminate. I'm going to gel top coat, 60 seconds in the cooker, and then I will apply the water slide decal, top coat, and then another 60 seconds. But the point of this was just to make sure that you guys know that you can put water slide decals on almost anything, black and dark blues and dark purples, and they're very hard to see decals on top of, but there's no reason why you cannot decal a light color shimmer or a light color chunky glitter if you wanted to. So, and then I wanted to show you the placement with tweezers, without tweezers, sliding it straight off of the paper backing, at the bottom of the nail, at the top of the nail, in the middle of the nail. You know, I wanted you guys to know that the possibilities for making things yours they're endless. Possibilities are endless. Alright, and that one is ready for the decal. Okay, and there's that. We're going to go ahead and put that on the center of the nail as straight as we can. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, top center. I just wanted to make sure that we got all the air bubbles out. At the top of the nail is curved more, I believe, so you do want to make sure that you get all the air bubbles out and any wrinkles, and make sure the edges are all laid down, so that you don't have anything to worry about as far as your design for however long you want to keep your mani. So then we're just going to top coat and then bake for 60 seconds. So I hope that you guys found this helpful and useful. I hope that it showed you that though water slide decals may seem intimidating, you can do it. It's super easy. You just have to be willing to try it. You have to have a sense of fearlessness, not even a word, fearlessness whenever it comes to personalizing your manicure. I know that nails is therapy for me. So I hope this was helpful to help make your therapy a little bit easier too. So let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the comments. Give me a like. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I'm a new YouTuber. So give me a little bit of support and I'll keep making videos to help as much as I can. Thanks, guys.